Hello and welcome to episode 86 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine evening, as always, the one, the only, Mr. Perry Burkham.
Hey Casey, how's your day going?
My day's going pretty good, I'd say. You know, it's nice because this week I've been working on some games, but luckily they're not, review games, I should say, and I don't have to get them done for another week and change. So it's nice to not have to, sort of push my way through a game too quickly. So it's nice to sort of sit back, relax, go to work, come home, be like, oh, baby. How about you? How are you doing?
Very good. I've been super busy with work, with jobs and whatnot, but I have had some time to play some video games, which is nice.
I see that, you big jerk.
Yeah. We're gonna go through our normal what we've been playing, the eShop Roundup. We had a pretty nice news week this week.
Yeah, there might not be a ton of news, but there are definitely some heavy hitters.
It's heavy hitting news.
Well, it depends who you ask.
Yeah. And then yeah, exactly. And then we're gonna end the show with some listener mail. So
those are always my favorite.
For that. Yep, me too. And this is a great one. So anyway, let's get right into what we've been playing.
And this is just to make sure this is not a quick bite. You're getting right into no quick bites this week.
No quick bites. That's right.
All right, we're getting right into the meat and potatoes, as they say.
Yep.
I love me some taters, Perry.
I know you do, and I'm wondering if you will love this surprise that I'm about to surprise you with, which is Mystery History. Mystery History.
Oh, snap. You dog.
Yep, I did it. I tricked you.
You did. I did not think.
Yep, you thought I was going to talk about Late Shift, but I wasn't. This is Mystery History, baby. Now,
you duped me, you dirty dog.
Yep, one of our oldest segments. If you don't know what this is, it's 15 questions, yes or no. Casey has to guess this week what game I played, and this is it's history, so it's on a system that's not Switch or 3DS, so anything before.
I forgot. So yeah, the Wii U is back on board, right?
The Wii, yeah, it could be a Wii U game.
Because I thought about doing that. I was like, you know what I should do? I should do a Mystery History where I play Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Yes.
And just completely mess with you.
Oh, why did you do that?
Well, because now that, Tropical Freeze already came out, you know? It would have been more...
It would have been good.
It would have been most timely for this episode.
Yeah, it would
And
have.
I completely dropped the ball.
That's okay. So, after 5 questions, every 5 questions you get a hint. And I don't think we've ever had a game where after the 3rd hint we haven't got it.
Yeah, usually...
Except for with Alex, Mr. Panda, because we didn't know the name of the game. But we knew what game it was, just not the...
Yeah, well, the way our hints sort of go is the first one's usually the most vague, and then obviously as we get a little deeper, after the 15th you have no more guesses, so we more or less make it pretty obvious, but it's usually still pretty good fun.
There's still shame.
Yeah, if you wait to the last, and no offense to anyone that doesn't get it to that point, because that's usually me, but yeah, it's pretty much, it's like an honorary guess, like, oh, he got it. Took him a while, but he got it.
Well, let's start this shebang, okay? Question number 1, what do you got for me?
Alrighty. Is this game on a portable system?
No.
Alright. Okay, so we're looking at a home console. Is this a disc-based game?
A disc-based game, yes.
All right, so we're talking GameCube, Wii, or now Wii U. Is it Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze?
And that's your 3rd question, and no, I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine? You're like,
do you want to use that?
Son of a gun.
You could go for the record here.
I mean, sure, why not?
No.
Okay. All right, 3 guesses down.
All right, number 4.
All right, so we are talking GameCube, Wii U. Is this a platformer?
No.
Is this a puzzle game?
No.
All right, that's 5.
All right, that's 5. Okay. I have been waiting all day.
Oh God,
to
these
give
hints
you
are going to
this
be
hint.
the worst.
I just. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna copy and paste this into the chat.
I got to see it.
I'll tell you first, and then I'll copy and paste
I was
it.
going to say, oh no.
All right, are you ready?
Yep, I was born ready, Perry.
Okay, listen. Here it is. Appreciate idle love. More women. Society generously, temporarily. Tangerines.
What does that even mean? I have no idea. That does not help me one iota. I guess.
Oh, but it does, though. It does.
I don't believe it.
If you want, you can study that while you're guessing now.
I mean, I'm looking at it, and it doesn't tell me anything.
It does, though. I wouldn't steer you wrong. It tells you something.
Appreciate idle love, more women, society, generously, temporarily, tangerines. I'm trying to think if maybe it's like the first letter of each one or something, but like that would be the worst hint of all time, and it doesn't spell anything. Okay, anyway, you're the worst.
All right, number 6.
All right, so I determined it was not a puzzle game, not a platformer game. Man.
You don't even know what system it is, right?
I'm flabbergasted from this. Yeah, I don't know.
Shouldn't you figure out the system?
I guess. You jerk. Let's see.
Trust me, you'll feel like a fool when you realize.
Oh,
it
thanks.
was all there the whole time.
That'll make me feel better. Is this on a mini disc?
On a mini disc?
Yeah, like a GameCube
You mean like?
disc.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a GameCube game.
Well, I didn't say it's a GameCube game. Why don't you just ask if it was a GameCube game?
Because the Wii and the Wii U don't use mini discs.
Oh, do they?
No, they don't, you Jimmy.
All right.
You could
Go
put
ahead.
sure
Number
you
6.
You could put
Oh, that was number 6. You got number 7.
Oh God, I hate this game. Oh God, okay. So now we know it's a GameCube game. Oh, or is it a GameCube game? Oh, I don't know. Is it a GameCube game?
Yes.
You jerk. All right.
Number 8.
That's okay. I can't wait till this next guess that's just a bunch of random words slapped together. All right. I don't even... Is it a racing game?
No.
Man, I feel like I'm at a complete loss right now, aside
Number 9.
from knowing it's a GameCube game. Is it a Nintendo published game?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Is it a mini game or micro game based video game?
No.
Okay. That's number 10.
That's number 10.
Give it to me.
All right. This is good. This is a good hint. I think.
A gooble gobble gobble geeble.
Okay. Hint number 2. The general consensus is that this game isn't very good.
All right, so general consensus that this Nintendo published GameCube game is not very good.
Yeah, I think that's a good hint.
I don't know now. I feel like I don't know if I'm blanking on my Nintendo GameCube published games, but I'm trying to think which one could not have been very good. But and it's not a platformer, it's not a puzzle game, it's not a sports game. What could this game be? It's not a mini game, so it's not Mario Party or anything.
That was a good guess. I mean,
well, at first I was thinking maybe like one of the WarioWare micro game mix-ups or mashups, whatever you call them.
I think there's only one on the GameCube, so.
I'm not even, unless this last hint is like the world's best hint. I'm totally like, there's no way I'm gonna get this.
Oh, come on! Yes, you will.
Because now I'm running out of question. Like, is it an arcade shooter?
Is that a question you're asking?
Yes.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah. Okay.
So number 12.
I feel like I don't know. Is it an RPG?
No.
Man, I'm like swinging and missing right now.
I know. And dude, I thought you would get this like before number 5.
Oh, I really don't know.
So this is number 13. Question number 13.
I'm trying to think of games that were not generally remembered favorably from Nintendo published GameCube games.
Mm-hmm.
That are not like all of the genres that I've pretty much already listed. Does it have a popular like Nintendo mascot starring in the game?
Yes. Yes, it does. That was number 13. So number 14, you got 2 questions left, buddy.
Would it happen to be in the series of the Nintendo's most recent release of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze? Is it
no.
Okay, so it's not a Donkey Kong game.
You could have just said, is it a Donkey Kong game?
Well, I don't want it to be... I like to try and work around it. Make you work for the question. Because then I was starting to think like maybe one of those like Donkey Konga games.
So yeah, no, that would have been, yeah.
That's where I was starting to go.
Although
there.
I kind of, that's kind of mini game-ish.
Yeah, well, because I was thinking, I know, Barrel. What is it? Which one's the good one with the bongos?
Jungle Beat.
Jungle Beat. That's the good one, right? And Konga's like the weird, more rhythmic.
It's just the music. It's the music game before Guitar Hero, So it's like even more simple, but yeah.
All right, so last question here.
Last question.
It's got a Nintendo. Oh, is it a? Does
think
it?
About all the hints.
Does it? Oh, what is the? I don't know. More society generally temperature. That first hint is just not helping me at all. Is it in the series that site director John Raritan loves more than anything?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
So that was 15.
All right.
So
I'll
get
hear
the hint, and then you can have the guess. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Daniel Bloodworth's abstract for a preview he wrote for this game on NWR is, "Take a gander at this furry action."
Furry action. So it's got a. All right. So I'm thinking it's. I'm gonna take a stab here. Is it Star Fox Assault? Oh no! Is it What's the Dino? What's the other one called?
Oh my goodness! The game I played was Star Fox Adventures.
That's it.
Wow.
I forgot that's the. That was the one that was Dino Planet or something, right?
Dinosaur Planet, yes.
Dang.
Yes.
Well, I got close.
You did. You got so close, and I was like, just like.
Considering, considering at the very I was clueless up to guess 12. So.
Well, what's so funny is usually Rare comes into our guesses, and it's I know he's gonna say Rare. I thought, is it developed by Rare? I don't know. I just figured it.
I guess for for me, Rare is more N64, with GoldenEye and all the banjos. So I guess I sort of I've never played either of the Star Fox games for GameCube.
Really,
GameCube, actually.
I got pretty far with Star Fox Adventures at in whatever, 5th or 6th grader. But I've never played Assault. I've always wanted to play Assault. But yes, it's Star Fox Adventures. And are you wondering about hint number 1?
Yeah.
Are you ready to kick yourself?
Nope. I refuse to get upset about it.
The first letter of the first word is A. The second letter of the second word is D. The third letter of the third word is V.
Boo!
And if you go through that, it's Adventures.
Get off the podcast. Boo.
No, it was there all along.
Boo.
And you like how,
I didn't know we could just make
end,
up Ghibli garb for our clues now.
You like at the end, I used tangerines twice.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
because of ES at the end.
you got lazy. You got lazy on your dumb hint.
Oh man!
I'm signing out.
I can't believe it. I can't believe I stumped you. Wow.
You Jimmy.
Can't believe it. Well, but in all honesty, you did guess. You did say, is it on a mini disc and is it a GameCube? And you flat out asked if it was tropical or freeze.
I was giving away guesses. Well, after that first hint, I gave up. I went, this is baloney.
And then now how foolish you feel.
I don't feel foolish at all. I don't feel foolish at all. I bet you should feel foolish. Everyone's probably like, man, this guy Perry, what a horrible hint giver.
I thought it was beautiful. But yeah, Star Fox Adventures. This was the last game Rare made for Nintendo. Came out September 23rd, 2002. Long time ago. Right after this, Microsoft bought out from Nintendo. And yeah, so this is what happened with me. It was 2 nights ago, and Jill and I are about to sit down and play Late Shift, the new game I got. Play through it,
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a random knock on my door, and here comes in Aaron and my other friend Noah, and they brought a GameCube over with Star Fox, and they made me play Star Fox Adventures.
That's so random.
It was extremely random, and we played through this game. I mean, we played like 2 hours, and oh my goodness, it's just a bad game. It's weird. Now, it's beautiful. Like, it's impressive looking. Absolutely. The gameplay is so dull. It plays exactly like Zelda, like a 3D Zelda, but with super dull combat and really bad Rare collectathon elements put in. And there is this amazing character named, I think it's named Tabby or something, Tabitha, the pterodactyl or Tabitha or whatever. She's the shop owner, and you've probably heard about her, but she's insane. I'm gonna play a clip of her right now.
You pay this much. No, that's too low. No, that's too low. Yeah, I don't need business from cheapskates. Get out!
She you don't have enough scarabs! Like, she screams.
She crabby old lady.
Yeah. And then, you can... She owns the shop, and you buy stuff from her. And you can, haggle on the price,
Mm-hmm.
And if something costs, 10, you can offer, whatever you want. 2, 3, 4, 9, whatever. But, I went up to buy something from her that was 10, and I offered her 9. No, that's too little. And it's just what the heck am I,
How the heck am I supposed to haggle if you can't give me some wiggle room, dang it?
Yeah, it is great. But, yeah, we were just fumbling around trying to figure out what to do. And, it's just weird that this game came out. It's weird.
I wonder, do you think it would have, like, would it have been able to stand on its own if it had just, sort of kept course as Dinosaur Planet and didn't put on that, like, Star Fox expectations you might have had? Or do you think that's actually, like, the only redeeming thing?
So much worse.
Okay,
absolutely.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just bad. The Star Fox, so it's this dinosaur planet, and they have this language that they speak, and it's hilarious because it's all voice acted, but it's like the worst voice acting you've ever heard, and it's this language that is obviously like a phonetically stated thing from but the names are okay. Like it'd be like Mikaka ni chiki laka huki maka Captain Snake Kappa chiki gaka. I mean, it'll like just be like the names are all. It's just like a random normal word mixed in. It's
That's
awful.
So funny. Yeah. Oh God. I wonder what they were thinking.
I don't know. I mean, I always thought Rare is just goofy. You know, they always were goofy and weird.
I guess maybe it just missed the mark, you know.
Yeah, but the main hook in this game is you have a staff. You know, Star Fox. Yeah, you come down to the planet and he's like talking to Peppy, or no, to General the dog. I can't remember his name. And he's like, "Can I have my blaster?" And the dog's like, "Oh, Fox, always trying to shoot stuff before solving it," and like guns a-blazing, like, we want to save the planet, not destroy it.
God dang, Fox. So
that's why he doesn't have a blaster. But then the first upgrade you get is like a gun for your staff.
Like something that's 18 times more powerful.
Oh my goodness. But the aiming is awful. I mean, this is before dual analog, right?
Mm-hmm,
Even the camera control. This is back to. It's just so weird going back to like hitting L to,
change the
camera, yeah, which isn't too bad. But it's just like, man, playing it's like they have the C stick. I mean, the camera stick. It's right there, Yeah,
they hadn't discovered how to properly use that.
Anyway, we had decided that we are gonna play through this whole game, together, all four of us. So
excellent.
Yeah, so you'll probably hear little updates on this game, and maybe, hey, Casey, maybe next week I'll do it again, and you can get it on your first try. How about that, buddy? Will that make you feel better?
Shut up, you jerk.
Just kidding, buddy.
I remember when you were nice.
Ooh, that's funny.
Jimmy.
But let's move on. That was the first failed attempt at mystery history.
Yeah, it sure was.
Actually, I don't think it was. Like I said, Alex got us, so.
Yeah. First one-on-one fail, though.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Casey.
No, that's okay. Well,
it was partially my fault.
Yeah. I call, I'm putting the game under review. I would like an outside source to come look at these hint questions and prove that they're not valid. But here's the good news, Perry.
What's that?
I'm going to have a shot at redemption right now, because I, too, have been playing a mystery history game.
Mystery history. Are you kidding me?
On the list to mess with you. So yeah, you ready?
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Yes.
We got each other.
Yeah, this is not planned for realsies.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
That's why when you did it, I was like, "Oh, son of a gun!" And I was like, "Well, wait, actually, I'll just keep quiet, and this will be fun. Back-to-back mystery histories."
Oh, we are just this is amazing. Awesome.
A couple of sly dogs. Now, I'm going to get.
I should have known, slime son.
Yeah. Now, before we start, I just want to let you know I actually have a handful of really good hints, I feel, that will actually push you in the right direction. So you might have a good chance at this. All right? Just want to throw that out there.
They're going to say, and I'm not going to use them, and I'm going to just jibber jabber.
Yeah. Ooka pooka.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah. God dang it.
Okay. All right. Number 1. All right. Here we go.
Ask
for
away.
round 2 of episode 86. Wait a second.
What's
Did you already give this away before when you said that I was thinking about doing Donkey Kong?
I don't know. You're gonna ask a question.
That's not, no. Is it on a disc-based system?
It is not.
Okay. So, is it a handheld game?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So it's not the PSP, because that's a disc-based system.
I've never owned a PSP.
I know.
I owned a
That's not
Vita, though.
Nintendo. Yeah.
Who says the mystery history has to be exclusive to Nintendo? Those are not in the bylaws.
I think those are the bylaws.
Shut up.
This is the Talk Nintendo podcast. Okay. Question number 3. Is it on a dual screen system?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Dang it, why didn't I just ask no, I guess that would have... Okay. Well, then it has to be DS then, because it's not 3DS. So...
That's what you think.
It's a DS game. Number 4.
Yours is already going way better than mine.
Is it an RPG?
It is not an RPG.
Okay.
I don't have time for all that.
Yeah, you only have 2 more you're playing or something. Number 5, is it made by Nintendo?
Yes, it is.
All right. Hint number 1.
Hint number 1. The mascot of this game went on to become an assist trophy in Super Smash Bros.
Oh, the mascot of this game. An assist trophy on a DS game. That's a mighty good hint.
Wait, hold on. I don't know. Let this. I wish we could have the people chime in live to see which was a better hint. That or appreciate idol love, more women, society, generously, temporarily, tangerines. I just wanted to make sure that was out there back to back so we could compare, you know.
I think people will be on my side.
You
one.
big
I'm just gonna be honest.
Jimmy. All right.
I'm just gonna be honest. They're always on your side though. Okay. It became an assist trophy, and it's a Nintendo game, and is this mascot a silly little man that wears green?
A silly little man that wears green. Are you asking if this is Tingle?
Yes, I am.
No, it is not a silly man in little green getup.
Okay. So it's not Tingle. Okay. I guess that could be Link too.
Yeah.
Depending on how you say that. Okay. Assist trophy. And this is for the DS, because you can't use 3DS.
Yes, the developer's system.
Because I was thinking Dylan's Rolling Western,
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, except you couldn't use that because it's on 3DS, and the new game is coming out. Let's see. Assist trophy and Super Smash Brothers. That's a good hint. Is this game a platformer?
No, this is not a platformer.
Okay. What question am I on?
That was number 7, so you're now on 8.
Okay, number 7. All right, halfway through. Is the mascot a male?
Yes, it is.
All right. And this is all right. Wait, now we're on number 9 or number 8?
This is number 9, so you're 2 away from your next hint.
Okay. All right. Has there been a sequel to this game?
Yes, there has been.
All right.
One more, you're gonna unlock next question here.
That's right. Did this game make good use of the touchscreen?
It sure did.
All right.
Ready
Hint
for your
number 2.
I've actually got a couple hints here to use, but I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay.
This title was part of Nintendo's push to appeal to both traditional and casual gamers.
Ah.
So now you can probably narrow it down to a select few. So there's a good chance you'll probably get it from here. But
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Is it a game in the Brain Age series?
Yes, it is.
All right. Is it Brain Age 2?
No, it is not.
Is it Brain Age?
Yes, it is.
Woo!
Boom.
Those are some good hints.
Well, see here, I had this one in lined up for second. In order to play this game, you must hold the controller/system unconventionally. But then I was thinking that would probably give it right away. Where if it was part of...
I don't think so.
See, I was thinking like...
Not for me.
I was thinking you would have been like, oh, well, like what games... Oh, like... You hold it like a book, you know?
I guess you're right.
Where I was thinking where,
Yeah.
like, at least the push to appeal to both would have been, like, could have been Nintendogs
that was
or
good.
something along those lines, too.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
The last hint was actually, which sort of tied in with that one, was the title, it came out before the Touch Generations brand, despite being part of the Touch Generations brand.
Oh, okay.
But yes, this is
Interesting. So you've been playing this?
very lightly.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah, this week I've been, as I mentioned before, I've been playing some games that I can't talk about yet on this episode, so those have been
Fancy.
monopolizing my time. So I was like trying to figure out a good thing to bring to the table here. That's why I was like, I definitely want to get a mystery history in. So yeah, I looked over at the old shelf and I was like, you know what, Brain Age would be a good one. Sort of a game I haven't even thought about in a real long time. But yeah, Brain Age, train your brain in minutes a day, came out in Japan in May of 2005 and April of, actually, yeah, look, I wonder if I wrote that right. Yeah, I did. Interesting. It came out in, oh, no, I see. I made a typo. I knew that was right. There you go. May 19th, 2005 in Japan, and April 16th, 2006 in the United States. This, as I said before, was sort of a push to sort of get that casual gamer, and, you know, obviously being part of the Touch Generations brand was sort of like that, hey, you could pick up your DS and use a stylus, and that's how you control the game. Very sort of intuitive and easy to jump into.
Yeah. So good.
This game has sold 19 million copies worldwide as of September 2015. So
Oh, wow.
that's quite a few. And I mean,
Remember, it was a budget title, right? It was $20.
yeah, I think it was pretty cheap at launch.
So
Because it
so
is
good.
a pretty bare bones game when you get into it. I mean, not in a bad way. It's just like aesthetically, it's not, you know, it's not jumping off the page.
Oh, dude, so much nostalgia for that game.
You got your Dr. Kawashima,
Yep.
and that is who went on to be the assist trophy. But essentially,
Yeah.
you get into the game, and there's just a few options to sort of roll with. You pick your character or your profile, and then when you get into that, it pretty much you do the Brain Age check, which is 3 random tests, and it sort of just tells you how old your brain is. And the youngest is actually 20. So I remember when I was playing this, I was not 20 at the time, but you also have training, which allows you to go into each of the different tests and just do them and sort of practice your way and get better for when you do the real tests. And then then there's a graph that sort of charts all of your scores and stuff and how you bounce from time to time. But it's cool as you complete the training for each day, you get a little stamp for that day. So when you look at the calendar, I played and I did my training on that day, and it's sort of like to keep you coming back for more, to not miss that stamp.
It's like the precursor to Wii Fit.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Very similar. Everything you're saying. Is Wii Fit with Dr. Kawashima though?
That I don't
I
know
can't remember.
offhand.
I don't think so. No, it's just the
Wii Fit.
The Wii Fit trainer.
But there are 9 different types of puzzles in this game. Calculations times 20, which is just 20 math problems, relatively easy math problems in a row, and you just try and do them as fast as you can. Then they have calculations times 100, reading aloud, low to high, syllable count, head count, triangle math, time lapse, and voice calculation. So they have a bunch of games in here. you know, my favorite, I really like head count, which is, it has, it shows you like 4 or 5 people, or however many people, and then a house drops on top of them. And then you have people coming into the house from the left and people exiting to the right. So you need to keep count on how many people are still in the house. And it starts off easy, where, you know, it's like, oh, 2 went in, 1 came out, you know, and it's like, but then all of a sudden they start going faster and at the same time, and longer strips, because when they only send 2 or 3, there's a break and you can see it. But when there's like 4 or 5, it starts to become a chain into the house from off the screen. Yeah. So it's a little more difficult to tell exactly how many there are. But it was, yeah, like you said, it's just sort of like a nostalgic trip. I went in there and there were 4 profiles. The top one was just dumb. So I don't know who that did that one. Then Hildy, which was one of my cats. Then Sandy, and then my mom. So,
and Randy.
Yeah, Randy. But no, I actually do remember my mom playing this game back in the day and actually like enjoying it. So
it's a great game.
Yeah, it was. You know,
and it has Sudoku, right?
Yeah. Yep. It includes Sudoku as well, which
Heck yeah.
I really like that game a lot. Actually, I wonder if it's from this that sort of sparked it. But I remember I used to try and do the Sudoku puzzles in like the newspaper and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a simple game. You know, there's the bells and whistles not really there. It's, you know, pretty bare bones in the aesthetic. But like you said, I think it was a budget title, and it was just focused on doing puzzles and stuff. It's cool to hold the DS like a book, and I think it works well. I think you can orient, you know, which if you're lefty, you know, like so it's on your left hand side. So you're not covering the screen. The actual touch response is sort of hit or miss. I mean, in one of the, I forgot which one, what they actually call it, but essentially they just show you like 20 or 30 words, and they give you 2 minutes to memorize as many as you can, and then they give you like 3 minutes to write it down, write as many as you can remember down. And doing that, it worked pretty well. They had just like, they were all, I think, 4-letter words, and they had like 4 little spots you just write in there, and it did a good job of recognizing what I was trying to write. Where I ran into some problems were during the math, the calculation ones, because essentially you're trying to go as fast as you can, because you want to get as, you know, obviously you want to get all of them right, and you want to do it as fast as possible. If you get any wrong, it's like a 5-second penalty, and there were a few times where like, it was a real easy equation, you know, like 8 minus 2. It's like, okay, 6. And you sort of do that, and all of a sudden it registers it as something different, and then you get it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, when I was doing the memory one where I didn't really face a problem, but I think it was more so when speed was, essential. So you're trying to write it quicker, and naturally your handwriting becomes a little sloppier, and that's where I sort of ran into some problems. But
yeah, I remember like I had to change how I wrote stuff.
Yeah, because
to fit better,
for me, I write my 3s from the bottom.
Oh, what a gem!
And I think that's really weird, right? I'm pretty sure everyone does from the top. So like it would, I don't think it would have trouble reading my 3s. So I had to start writing from the top down.
See, it's helping you.
Yeah, Brain Age fixed my dumb writing. But yeah, no, fun little game. It's funny to think, like I remember when that came out, and yeah, it's like, oh, okay, Brain Age, that's sort of weird, and then just of how much it blew up, and like you said, all of a sudden there was a million different, well, maybe not a million, but a bunch of different sequels, and like you said, getting those typically non-gamers to get in there and play some games.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
It's amazing, yeah. And then Brain Age 2 was a huge success, and then the 3DS, the devilish brain framing.
Well, that was going to be one of my hints.
Huge flop.
One of my hints was going to be like a long-awaited sequel finally got released in Europe after like years of waiting or whatever. I forget the exact how long it was, but it was like stupid length.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's Brain Age. Fun game. I wonder, it was re-released for the on the Virtual Console for the Wii U, back in 2016, actually.
Yeah, and it was given away.
Yeah, there was a promo
in Europe for free or something.
Yeah, there was.
And it never happened in America. I was so mad about that.
Yeah, some weird free download promo in June of 2014. Yeah, for Japan, the EU, and Australia, but it never came stateside.
Yeah. Well, very interesting, Casey. I can't believe that we both.
Yeah, I know we both
surprised each other with mystery histories. That's great.
Good times.
Well, we better get into what we've actually been playing for the show. The new stuff.
Yes, tell me about this little game we got to try out at PAX.
Yeah, this game is called Garage.
Oh, so you've been playing with the Labo?
No. Nope. This is, Garage from, what's their names?
Tiny Build.
I know. I was gonna say Team 17. Tiny Build. Yes. Tiny Build. Yes, Garage. Something that we got to play at PAX. Well, I don't think I played it. I think Alex Kulaki
We
played
witnessed it being played at
we
PAX.
Witnessed it. Yeah, we witnessed the Garage. Yeah, and anyway, so what this game is to me, the best way to put it, it's a top-down twin-stick Resident Evil game.
You sure this isn't from 10 Tons?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it very similar, just, I would love if 10 Tons would do something like this, because 10 Tons is really a fast-paced thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And this isn't really fast-paced like that. I mean, it is in some instances because it's a twin-stick shooter. But, okay, so let's start at the beginning. So, this game's pretty vulgar and pretty, I mean, you play as, like, this drug dealer that wakes up, like, in, like, a post-apocalyptic garage. And the whole game is in a garage. So, I know that sounds weird, but, like, a big parking garage, and there's, like, a subway and stuff like that. But there's zombies and stuff, and there's like this silly story and funny dialogue between you and some other characters, and just there's some exploring. I mean, it's pretty linear, but there's
some branches.
Part of it is, I mean, it's linear, but you're still exploring. So you start off with nothing, and you walk around, and you have to shoot zombies. And by that I mean kick them, and or punch them. And there's these freaking rats. Oh man, they're the worst things ever because you have to kick them. So there's like you kick with the L or you punch with the R, and the rats you have to kick them because you can't punch a rat. That's silly.
Yeah, they're down low to the ground.
You gotta be able to. You can't punch down to the ground, so you gotta kick it. But the thing is they can bite you like while you're kicking. Like, you gotta be really careful. And it takes a couple kicks, but on that second kick, you are guaranteed to make that thing explode.
Just gotta land two.
To a little explosion of blood to go everywhere. It's freaking rats, man. But then, it's a horror game, and it has this really fun dynamic that I really liked. You can only see on the screen what your character could see.
Okay.
So
point of view then.
Kind of like, so you can see environments, but like items and enemies are only seen when you're in the line of sight. So like you'll be looking at the next room, you can see the next room, but you can't see the enemies until your guy can see them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Because it's like a flashlight, right? Kind of cone in front of it.
I mean,
give it more or less.
I mean, yeah, like your vision is. It doesn't show you your vision.
Okay, gotcha.
But yes, exactly. Essentially, it is. But I think it works really good because part of it is, you don't know, like you don't want to just be able to walk in and see all the zombies and stuff. So you hear them, they jump out of boxes, they do that. But as you go, and this is something I really like too. As you go, like and I won't spoil too much of the game, but you get more weapons. You get an axe. And suddenly now, like, I was dying a lot. I'm playing on the medium difficulty. I was dying a a lot because, like, you know, you can get mauled, and then say like a rat comes and bites you, it'll take away health. But if 2 rats come and they keep biting you, like, it'll even get like worse, like it exponentially gets bigger. So you can die really quickly. It's not like you have like a hit, like invincibility period, kind of. I don't know, maybe you do, but anyway, you can die really quickly. And so you're punching things and zombies, but it's like if you don't punch them perfect, then they can attack you and you can still get hurt. But you get this axe and you can charge. I mean, you can just like hold it back. Like, you can hit it with R, and it'll take like 2 hits to kill a zombie. But if you charge it and just let go, you can just kill a zombie. So like you feel so powerful. Good. It's a really, really good feeling because it's like you were pretty weak, but now I have this axe, and I'm thinking, like, because I'm used to like Zelda and just any 10 tons where, you know, items are kind of temporary because you're always picking them up.
Mm-hmm.
This is a permanent upgrade like Zelda. It's not gonna break. It's not like Breath of the Wild, you know, but it's like it's this axe, and now I can kill zombies that, like, you know, they can still gang up and it still can get really hard, like, and you're gonna be doing like chasing and twin stick kind of stuff that you normally do. But yeah, it's just a really good feeling of getting more powerful, you know. And then pretty soon you come upon your first gun, and then now
then it gets
has
real.
That classic. Then it has that classic Resident Evil-ness of saving bullets, and so using your axe when you can, but then using bullets, and then it comes up to bosses, and man, they are hard. I mean, the first boss is like super hard, and died many times, and even when you kill him, there's something that happens that it's like it's hard to get out of the room.
Oh, okay, so it's not necessarily
so it's
like you finish a boss and you're in safe territory.
Yeah. It's like you have to get out of the room too. So they have some pretty cool ideas, like, you know, if you have a key, then you unlock a door. It takes like 3 seconds to unlock the door.
Yeah, like you're
so
actually
you
putting the key in and turning.
Yeah. So if there's enemies chasing you, then there's a good chance they're gonna get you. You know, so they have really good horror elements put in. So honestly, I mean, it plays like a top-down, you know, obviously quicker version of Resident Evil, but very similar to Resident Evil. It really does. It feels like Resident Evil. It feels cool. It's almost like a DS Resident Evil game that they would have released if they, you know, if they knew what was good for them. They went that route,
yeah.
Yeah, like instead of trying just to be a 3D, which I don't know, maybe they have. But remember when they said that there was going to be a Resident Evil SNES game? Remember we were talking about that once?
Yeah, I mean, they even I think there's ROMs out there of a port of Resident Evil 1 to the Game Boy, or like Game Boy, I think the Game Boy. I'm pretty sure it was Resident Evil Game Boy.
Really?
And it was like, it actually didn't look, Game Boy Color. There's I'm pretty sure it was pretty close to being released, but then they canceled it, but then a ROM sort of leaked out. And to be honest with you, it's really not that, like, I'm going to send you a link if you want to check real quick. It's actually...
Yeah, I do.
It's pretty fascinating. I mean, the good thing about Resident Evil, as far as from hardware goes, with the stationary cameras, it's nice because you could just literally make... It's just I don't know if it's literally a JPEG, but, you know, it's just literally an image, you know, and your, like, character sort of walking on top of it. So, even though the Game Boy obviously is... you know, pretty underpowered for what you would think try and pull off a Resident Evil, but are you checking out the video?
Yeah.
Pretty impressive for Game Boy Color.
Oh yeah, that's insane. Yeah, this didn't actually happen though.
What do you mean? Like Did this
game actually?
That's real gameplay.
Did this game actually come out?
No, it was canceled, but this is the ROM.
Oh, okay. That's what I mean.
I think the game is only 90% complete.
That's
so I'll
amazing.
go as far as I can.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
So that is so cool. I never saw that before. Yeah, that is crazy. But yeah, Garage. I am really enjoying it. I think there's, I don't know how many chapters there are. I think there's 13 or something. I'm like, I just got to chapter 7. So I'm about halfway through, and I'm really enjoying it. There's a lot of fun ideas. Honestly, the weapon progression feels really good, and the just everything feels pretty good. I do like the game. And it's funny because seeing it PAX, I would just, this whole game, ever since it was like announced, it's just like, this doesn't look amazing or anything. Like it never hooked me at all. But I mean, right when I started playing and right when I realized, like, basically when I got the axe, it was kind of like, oh yeah, this is awesome.
It's starting
and the
to
nice
click.
thing is yeah, starting to click. And the nice thing is like when you die, it's really quick respawn. I mean, it's a game over. I mean, your game starts quickly. There's some pretty long loading times in the game, like in between levels and like initial loading times, like pretty hefty ones. But while you're playing, like when you die, there's not really any. So that's good. I appreciate that. I'd rather. So, but yeah, that's Garage from Tiny Build, and I think that will be out or soon.
I believe it's this week, right? By the time they're
maybe,
listening to,
I know the embargo is like tomorrow, so I don't know if that's when the game comes out. Maybe the game comes out.
The game comes out May 10th, which is the day that this episode launches. So.
Yep. So I definitely would go check it out, and if you like Resident Evil and you like top-down twin stick shooters and that idea, it's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now you've also been playing the funkiest game in town.
The new hotness.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, man, and that is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Oh, baby, one of the best. One of the very best Wii U games out there.
Absolutely.
And I'd say even one of the very best platformers. It is.
Yep. It's phenomenal. I mean, I do want to say this. I'm a huge fan of Donkey Kong Country Returns. And I don't think there's a gigantic difference between these two games. I really do think that Donkey Kong, and I don't mean to bring Tropical Freeze down, I just mean to bring Returns up. I just think that they're both phenomenal games. I think that, what this one does. So, Donkey Kong Country, right? Now, one of my favorite franchises. Growing up, I loved the original. I played it all the time. The music, unbelievable. I've never been a huge fan of the graphics, like in like a stylistic idea fan. But as a video game fan, they're classic and they're goofy and I like them in that sense. I mean, I'm glad that they didn't recreate that for the new Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine?
That might be kind of horrifying, actually.
It probably looked like Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
Or Raging Justice, that's it, sorry.
Raging Justice, yeah, exactly. Imagine that with Raging Justice with Donkey Kong Country Returns.
No, thank you.
That would be scary. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost too ingenious.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Maybe that's what Retro's working on next.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Could you imagine?
So, yeah, I've already and I was talking with the staff. I'm telling you, I know what Retro's making next. It's the Donkey Kong Kart. Well, it'll be Funky Kong Kart for iOS.
Old Funky Kong Kart?
Yep, plays like Super Mario Run, but on the... Because if you think about it, the minecart levels were the original Super Mario Run. The one button things.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, those are my favorite too. I know people generally
honestly,
don't like them, or like they get too hard, but man, those are my favorite.
Remember our Talk Nintendo challenge?
Oh God. How could I forget?
I'm surprised to hear you say that now. Yeah, so definitely I thought that would be great. Actually, that would be a great iPhone game. Would be a kart racing game. But those work really well because they're in between the normal levels, So I don't know how good it'd work, but anyway, that was a long joke. Tropical Freeze. So I'm collecting all puzzle pieces and Kong letters.
Oh man, that's
so
God bless you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I did that. I've done that on Returns. I did that. I did that on when I played it on Wii U. I've done it before. I feel like so in every world, if you get all of the puzzle pieces, then you unlock a special level in that world that's like really hard platforming stuff. That also has puzzle pieces and stuff. And I think at the end, it's like if you get all those, you unlock a new thing. And yeah. So music, so cool. David Wise is my homeboy. Honestly, it's so cool having the original guy that is responsible for some of the most nostalgic music of my life growing up.
Of all time.
Just Donkey Kong Country is just that music is so good.
Yeah, it's so iconic, and I mean, obviously, Donkey Kong's such a, historically important figure for Nintendo too. To have that all tied up, it's like, and then Donkey Kong Country, the trilogy itself is amazing.
I know, man. It's so good. I know, and this game is so good. I'm enjoying. I haven't played Funky yet. This is my plan. I'm gonna beat the game again, get all the puzzle pieces, 100% it, and then I'm going to play through the game as Funky, and just have a blast like playing through.
Old Funky Cow.
Yeah. But man, playing with then you have like the way they introduce Cranky and Dixie. Oh, now. The thing is like playing with Dixie is like obviously the best. Like it is because you get like it's like Diddy, but you get a jump higher. And do you remember their little character specific specials that they have?
No.
So you collect bananas, and once you hit a certain amount, like this bar is filling up, and then you can initiate this combo attack. And what this does is it clears all the enemies on the screen and turns them into something. And so like for Cranky Kong, it turns every enemy into a banana coin, which is useless. And then Diddy Kong, it turns them all into life balloons.
Man, how uneven are those two power-ups?
Well, they're both useless.
I mean, the lives, but...
Well, listen, and then Dixie's is they turn them into gold hearts. And what gold hearts do is that you can add them to your normal hearts for that level.
Oh, man.
So it's like...
So do you just get like a bajillion?
So they're obviously the best.
Yeah.
Because I think you can get up to 4, I think. Because you get 2 for Donkey Kong, 2 for Dixie Kong. So, and it starts again. So it's like, really, it adds more hits to you, which is the best because then it'll take more to actually get your... to actually get hit.
Yeah, of course.
To lose, the biggest thing is losing your character, right? That makes it harder. So, but anyway, I kind of wish that wasn't so obtuse because I love using Cranky. I love it, but it's like his special is so dumb. But Cranky is so good because it plays like DuckTales. It plays like, kind of Shovel Knight-y. You can bounce on spikes and on enemies and bounce higher, and you're just hopping along the stage the whole time. It's so great. But yeah, that's a lot better. Now, that's the other thing is like I forget that this game, before I made it to the second level, I had 27 lives. Yeah, I mean like just from there's give them out everywhere, and at the end of the level, like you do like your little smash thing against the thing, when you hit the barrel.
Can you do that again?
Yeah. And I got 7 lives, and it's like, oh,
yeah. Thank you very much.
And they give you way too many lives.
I mean, it's pretty arbitrary, right? Because even if you do die, it's like, you just start the level over again,
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, exactly. There's no way I'm ever going to find out, because by the time I beat the first world, I was 99 lives, and it's just like...
Well, I guess, you know what, maybe, like the bonus really hard levels you end up unlocking, maybe those would be an area where you might blow through a bunch of balloons, but otherwise the game, because there are definitely tough levels, but I don't think I'm sure I ran into a spot where I lost a ton of balloons, but from what I remember, I don't think I ever got to a situation where it was like literally blowing through like game overs after game overs trying to do something.
Oh yeah, I remember that in the original Donkey Kong Country, like playing it on Super Nintendo. You know, I totally remember that game over screen where they're just both beat up and like looking at the camera. You know,
I think Donkey Kong Country 3 is when you get to game over. It's I think that it's them in a crib.
Yes.
And it's like, and what's his face? Kitty's got like the biggest frown on.
Yeah. Yes. Oh man, so sad. But there's no way it's ever gonna happen. So I will never see Funky's frown.
Funky doesn't frown. He does not have a frown.
I wonder if he does.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, but yeah, really enjoying it. It's a really fun game to be playing through. Play a few levels, you know, as I'm playing other stuff. But it's such a quality game. Surprised you didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm proud of you, but also I'm kind of disappointed because it's Donkey Kong and that's your main jam.
I know. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. We'll definitely talk about more of this game.
Yeah, we're gonna get into some listener mail as well later, like we said. But
true.
like you said, Perry's got. If you follow through with that plan, sounds like you're gonna be playing a lot of Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
But that's a good
so
thing.
Good,
That's almost the best thing.
And quickly, before we move on, I do want to plug that John Raridan and I, along with the whole staff and Patreons, we did a top 5 video for the top 5 Donkey Kong games on NWR TV. And not to spoil anything, but Tropical Freeze might be on the list.
Oh, boo, you spoiled it.
I'm sorry.
Now I'll never
I
watch.
didn't say where, though. I said it might be on the list.
I'm kidding.
I know. So yeah, check that out at NWR TV. I think that's a really fun video, and John did a really good job editing. He even did the transitions with bananas and stuff. It's amazing. So yeah, check that out. But is that gonna do it for what we've been playing?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, like I said, a light week for me, but I'll be bringing some games to the table next week to talk about. But yeah,
amazing.
Some double mystery history goodness.
Double mystery history. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, well, let's take a quick break and come back for the eShop Roundup.
Alrighty, we are back, and it is time to get right on into the old...
The eShop Roundup. Yeehaw.
Because we've got a bunch of games to talk about here, and I believe
Yeah.
Perry's going to
Pretty
kick
big
us
week.
off. And right off the bat, we get something out of the way, don't we?
That's right. And don't worry, everyone. Neo Geo games are still here. And I was thinking about this week. I was like, how many Neo Geo games are there? We should look that up. Because can they do it every week? Can there really be another Neo Geo? There probably can. Anyway, what we have up first is this amazing looking horse racing game called Stakes Winner.
Oh, I love
With
it.
the cutest little horse sprites you've ever seen. They're adorable. We're really doing the roundup here, aren't we, Case?
Yes, we sure are. And
Man, this game looks awesome.
it's
look at
timely.
it.
It's timely with the it's not the Belmont Stakes. It was what's the Kentucky Derby was just this past weekend.
There you go. It's a realistic jockey action game, from '95. But you use the whip in formation split and hyper dash, and you collect items on the course, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it honestly it really does.
Yeah.
But keeping with the sports theme here, we've got
What is the name? Oh, okay, never mind.
Arcade
Never mind.
Archives 10-Yard Fight for $7.99, and this is a nice little football game back from 1983.
Wow.
Run the ball or make a pass. You decide how to gain those 10 yards. Go, go, go for the touchdown.
Yeah, I believe I saw the Bivs playing this. He posted, and you could do the video posting on it.
Ooh,
You could
smart.
record video.
Smart.
Now, I need to tell you something because it was really funny. I saw it at the football game. I knew what it was. I clicked on it on my Switch, but it actually went to the one above it. And so I thought the name of this game, of this arcade football game, was Cast of the Seven Godsends. I was like, what the heck?
Like the most epic
Yeah, it was
play of all time.
I get Cast of the Seven, but Godsends, what's that? Anyway.
Guys, we need a miracle here. All right, let's run the cast of the 7 godsends.
Exactly.
Hut,
exactly.
set.
Exactly. Next up, we have "Don't Die, Mr. Robot" for $8.99. And it's a bullet hell avoid 'em up. So
Looks
I know another
interesting.
game. Yeah, very crazy fruits and things happening. It looks like a very quirky game. And I know another bullet hell avoid 'em up. Just Shapes and Beats. It's coming out pretty soon.
Yes. But you know what already came out?
What's that?
That's Professional Construction, the simulation, for $39.99. Another sim game. These are very popular on Steam and stuff, so I guess...
These are so ugly. They're just so ugly. The lighting in them are ugly.
Yeah, I don't think they're... At least this one doesn't look like they're going for the most beautiful game.
But I get the idea. Like, you know...
It's fun doing those...
Or deconstruction, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fun to do those simulations because it's nice to, like, see all that progress happen, like, in real life.
Absolutely.
In a short period of time, you know, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
but
here we go.
Next up, we have actually arrived at Cast of the 7 Godsends for $12.99, and this is not a football game. It is a 2D run and gun action shooter game.
Yeah, some platforming action. It looks like.
Yeah. And what? Yeah, my Switch just went off there for a second.
Well, I think that's all we need to say about that one.
It's not loading the. I mean, does it look nice?
I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but I mean, I guess it's got some interesting.
It's like hand-drawn art, not pixels, right?
I don't know about all that. That first screenshot's definitely drawn, but when I'm looking at the, I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. I can't tell.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll move on to the next game, which is
LFO, or Lost Future Omega, for $7.99. And this is a weird shoot-'em arcade game. It looks sort of like a Tron, like everything's sort of wire-framed, but also sort of like neonish and like glowy. It says music X,
sure does.
light X, shooting equals happy.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks sort of interesting.
Next up, we have... I just scrolled down the page. Next up, we have Nihilumbra.
Nihilumbra.
You paint the world on your Nintendo Switch. You change ground physics using 5 colors. So, yeah, this game looks kind of neat.
Yeah, interesting, like, puzzle platform. A puzz form, if you will.
A good old puzz form, yep. What's next, though?
Next up here, we've got Perfect Angle. And this is a puzzle game. And challenge your mind with puzzles based on optical illusions. Find the perfect angle by rotating the camera to clean up the chaos.
That's kind of fun.
So it actually it looks like one of the puzzles actually reminds me of like a Resident Evil puzzle, where it's like you need to rotate an object to make the shape of an animal. In this case, it looks like a bird in the shadow, you know? So obviously, like, the object you're rotating doesn't look like a bird at all, but to get the shadows to line up.
Yeah.
So it looks like a pretty interesting little game.
It's funny that because I was playing Donkey Kong Country, I was trying to find one of the puzzle pieces, and I could not for the life of me find it. So I looked it up online. And
Cheater.
Yeah, total. But it's like, yeah, whatever.
I'm just kidding.
But it was one of those things where you have to line up the background, like sliding down this thing, you have to line up the background to make a star out of like the environment. Kind of a lot like this. It's kind of find the perfect angle. So
interesting. That's pretty cool.
So they copied Nintendo.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Better Nintendo copied them.
Ooh.
Even though Donkey Kong's a super old, well, not super old, but an older game.
Yeah. Next
Anyway.
up, though, Johnny Turbo's Arcade Sly Spy, and this is $7.99. And I believe this is an older game, like ported or something. It looks really blurry.
Yeah, it doesn't look. Yeah, it looks like maybe
it's like James Bondy game.
I wonder if they just stretched it out. You know what I mean?
It literally says Secret agent, use your jetpack and the golden gun and save the world from evil.
And the golden gun, ay caramba.
Yeah. All right, what do we have next?
Next up, we have Japanese mahjong. Is that how would you say that?
That's right, for $5 on
Easy.
the dot.
$5 Jimmy price. Easily
Yep.
play mahjong. 2 players available with single device. Yeah, I
That's
guess
cool.
just pretty much a board game on your Switch there.
Good old mahjong, the Japanese solitaire, or whatever.
Something like that.
It's not. Yeah. Timberman Versus is our next game. For $1.99.
Bigger.
Playable with up to 4 players.
Better.
And yeah.
More chops.
Yeah. This game looks like you literally just press the buttons as fast as you can. And I was trying to figure. I saw this like I was watching gameplay or like the trailer, and that's all it looks like. I try to figure out what you do, but it looks like you just race to see how many times you can press a button. Hence the $1.99.
Well, yeah.
guess.
At least it's priced appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
Next,
And another game that is priced appropriately.
yes, sir. And that is Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze for $59.99.
Donkey Kong Country
Baby.
Tropical Freeze, but yes.
This game is something else.
Oh, it's so good, guys. It's such a good game. If you haven't played it on Wii U, it's such a no-brainer.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. If you miss this on the Wii U, you have never played Tropical Freeze. Absolutely go check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a tough game, but it's really fun, beautiful. I mean, you can't say enough good about it, pretty much.
Exactly. Next up, we have Raging Justice for $13.49. Sounds like they're having a little launch sale.
Sounds like it to me.
10% off there. Yeah, this is the classic beat-em-up game that Casey and I actually got to play with Nick Macon, the guy who made the game.
From Making
at
Games.
PAX. From Making Games, yeah. A really charming British man.
Yes,
He's
sir.
a really nice guy. In this game, I wasn't sold on, the graphics are, ugly, in that sense of...
It's the art
the
style.
way that the art style is just kind of ugly, and I wasn't jiving with it at first, but then watching more, I really grew to actually like it and stuff a lot more than I thought I would. But yeah, there's this game.
Yeah,
I like the fat guys.
this one didn't really do it for me. Not my cup of tea. But you know what? There's definitely a group of
if you
people
like
out there that
beat-em-ups.
love those games. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But next up here, we've got Shantae Half Genie Hero Ultimate Edition for $29.99. Now, this includes all of the previous DLC modes and costumes from all the other versions. So this is truly the Ultimate Edition. And, yeah, I've never really played Shantae games, but again, way forward, I know they're a pretty good developer, and a lot of people like the Shantae games. So it's, I know they've pretty much, I feel like, released on every platform in the world. So
I'm just not
Just
a fan
another
of the
one.
art style of this game. I just don't like Shantae. I'm sorry. I appreciate all the work that WayForward's done. They're an amazing develop. They're I just don't. I just totally am not jiving with this game.
I tell you what, I think it might be Pirate's Curse that I've heard some of the soundtrack of.
Yeah, Pirates.
And it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never
Pirates
actually.
Curse is a really good game.
I've never actually played the
It's
games.
the only game I've completed. It's really good. Yeah. Now, last but not least, we have Death Road to Canada.
Yes, after a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, it's it was gonna come out. I've played this game. It's a roguelike. It has lots of character. It's kind of text based in a lot of ways where you're doing stuff and kind of like Oregon Trail-y, where you make choices and it'll just ask you random questions and you're trying to get to Canada. I know, sounds crazy.
Who
would
wants
want
to go to Canada?
But that's where David Lloyd is.
Yeah, that Jimmy doesn't even like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. You know what's great though is on one of the the first thing it's that you have died on the Death Road to Canada, and the option you have to press is dang it.
Yeah, that
That's so
jives
good.
perfectly with us. Dang it,
Yeah,
Bobby.
exactly. Cool art style, kind of fun. Yeah, so check that out. And that's it for the eShop Roundup.
Woo! That was
brisk.
Yeah, we breezed through that, but there's a good reason.
So I can play Garage while you're talking right now.
Yep. And that's because, well, you jimmy on over there, we got some hard-hitting news to talk about.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
Yes. So, it was revealed just the other day that we finally got to look behind the curtain of all of the goodness that Nintendo has in store with us with the online service. Of course, we knew it would be online play, so you're going to need that to play your Splatoons, your Mario Karts, ARMS, any games coming out in the future. Will most likely, at least from Nintendo, are going to need the online service. I wonder how that's going to work with, like, small indie games, but I guess we will see. Time will tell with that. But the more interesting thing is that we finally got a look at these NES games. We were told NES and SNES games with online play. We've got 10 games already announced, and that is Soccer, Tennis, Donkey Kong, Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, The Legend of Zelda, Dr. Mario, Ice Climber, Balloon Fight are the first 10. 10 more will be announced leading up to the launch of...
Dude, Balloon Fight. Heck yeah.
Yes. I think it was David Lloyd who brought up a good point with some of these games. Like, online leaderboards are going to be great. Like, Balloon Fight online leaderboards. Like,
dude, I get to play with you.
Dr. Mario.
Right?
Yeah, is there multiplayer?
Yes, Balloon Fight. That's what it is.
Boom. Well, yeah,
man.
Well, I'm thinking of, like, the endless
Talk
mode.
Nintendo Challenge, man.
But no,
that's gonna be so good.
Yeah, it's exciting. Let me read through all the rest of this, then we can sort of, I guess, say our piece on the matter. Or unless if you want to take the next couple bullet points, I've been yapping for a minute here. No? Oh, that's right. No. You're playing Garage. We've also got cloud saves coming, which I know was one of the most requested
very
things
awesome.
People really wanted.
And something that we didn't really know. I think Reggie hinted to this at one point. Remember, he was like, or someone said like, he said something like, just bear with us, we're working on it, something like that.
Yeah, you figured it would be something, but
yeah,
that's also the MO with Nintendo. You figure something's going to happen, and then it doesn't. So for it to actually happen is nice. They mentioned the online phone app, and then we've got special offers, special deals and offers for members. Now,
what do you mean by online phone app?
They just, you're going to get to use, the online chat, I guess, with that. I don't know. It didn't really say much aside.
Is that with just the games? You're probably not going to be able to just chat whenever you want.
No, I think it's going to probably have to be going through the games, yeah. Just as the smartphone app is designed to enhance your online experience for compatible games such as Splatoon 2. So it doesn't really say
do
much.
Anything. It's just, why didn't they just make it universal so you can talk to your friends on Switch? Anyway,
I know,
that's stupid.
So dumb.
But now the special offers and special deals, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I know, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you get little discounts on certain games. So I think that would be cool. Even if it a 10% off certain games would be pretty sweet.
It'd be amazing, especially when you can combine them with your gold, coins, so.
Yeah. That's all going to be in September of this year. As far as pricing goes, 1 month will be $3.99, 3 months will be $7.99, a full year will be $19.99, and there's also a family plan, which is $34.99 for the year, and the account holder can invite up to 7 others to join a family group, and all members of the group will have access to Nintendo Switch Online. So that's sort of interesting there.
I don't know what this means.
I'm thinking, if you, say you got another Switch for Jill when Animal Crossing comes out. Instead of both of you paying $20 for a year, you could presumably just pay the family plan, and both of you will be covered, as well as up to 6 other people.
So could we do this?
So yeah, I'm thinking if we really wanted to, like you, me, date, we could get 8 people to share a family plan, and then what's 8?
Like $5?
Yeah, $5 a person for a full year, which would be.
No, but are there limits then that happened? Like
I don't know. From what it looks like, it seems like there's like no restrictions. It just says underneath it, a Nintendo account holder may invite up to 7 others in the family group. All members of the group will have access to the Nintendo Switch online. And since it's like not connected to a device, where like I know I'm pretty sure PlayStation has it where you can have multiple people on it, but like one is the primary like account and the other ones are sub accounts, where like you said, some of the maybe privileges or whatever are sort of restricted. It seems like it's sort of like, hey, you get X amount of full access memberships under this.
Okay.
So that would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, it would be smart.
I mean, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to look into it. I mean, because
we'll have to have Talk Nintendo families.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even just if it was just you and me split one, it's still cheaper than doing the 20 per person,
Yeah.
And then we could invite whoever else.
I'm not inviting David. That guy doesn't like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, loser. Yeah,
What a gem.
enjoy your $20 membership.
So yeah, we can team up with other. We can team up with other people as long as you like Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
which is every other person in the
world.
world.
Yeah, we can give away 6 spots in a giveaway.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, so what do you think about this? I mean, I guess
all of this together as a whole, I think is amazing. I think that it all comes down to it's only $20, which is a third of what PlayStation and Xbox does. I have an Xbox One and I haven't paid for it because it's too expensive for online stuff. Like the past 2 years actually. Now, and I play Switch, right? And it's just like I would pay. I mean, it's at least 20 games for $20.
Yeah,
to play online.
And it said that they would be adding
discounts.
games regularly.
Yeah, and then regular adding games, which I don't, they also said with Virtual Console they would add games.
Yeah,
regularly.
we'll see how. Yeah, regularly is subjective.
Yeah, but to me it's like this is amazing. Like I'm gonna be able to play Balloon Fight with you. Like that's amazing. I can't wait to play. This is what I've always wanted, is to play NES games with you. Like we never get a chance to do that. And now we can do that, and it's going to be so much fun. So, and I heard that, even if single-player games, you can take turns controlling it online.
Yeah, I think it would
we
probably...
could play through Zelda.
I was even thinking, like Mario Bros, like Super Mario Bros, you could just... It would be sort of like you're sitting in the same room, remember, where it'd be like, oh, one person's Mario, and they go until they die, and then Luigi goes, and then,
I know, doesn't that sound like so much fun? I don't know, that just sounds like a blast to me. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. I mean, like you said, it's significantly cheaper than any of the other services involved, and honestly, it's probably because... I mean, it's not probably because obviously it's going to be less featured. It doesn't have the voice chat. I mean, I guess it does, but it's in, the most convoluted way. It's not going to be as good as Xbox Live, but what's cool is, we're, like you said, you get these 20 games, and they're adding more games regularly. So now, I guess the big question with that is, do these 20 games stay,
once a month,
and more games are added once a month? Or is it going to be like, okay, there's 20 games available when you first start,
they're gonna
and then
take games off.
What's up?
I can't imagine they're gonna take games off.
Well, that's what maybe it's one of those things where it goes. There's 20 games to download when you first start. Second month, we're gonna take out 5 and add 5 new ones. But if you downloaded it the first time, you get to keep them.
Okay, maybe that.
Because that's what PlayStation Plus does. They don't offer.
Yeah, but then what happens?
20.
What if you join the second month and so are you saying there's no way to get those games?
So then you would have missed out on those games unless if they at some point feature them again.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because if it becomes, I just can't imagine if they're going to be adding more games regularly.
Yeah.
Are they literally just going to be like, okay, $20 gets you access to, at, you know, let's say by the time the end of the Switch's life span, like 200 games, 100, you know what I mean? Like if they, or say they add 5, you know, and it gets up to like, hey, there's 100 plus games. You know, is it literally
it's insane when you think about it, you know?
But that would be good because then it's essentially becoming like a Netflix kind of thing where it's like you just pay your money and you get access to these games, and there's a ton of them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it sounds... And it's just having an online...
But...
You know, having them work online is so cool.
Yeah, I guess that's also
it's different
another
than any
thing.
other virtual console release, you know?
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say, too, is, like, it's not like they're just dropping these games. They're actually going back and having to do more work to them. So, you know, adding more games regularly, maybe that means 1 a month, you know? Mm-hmm. And then they did mention Super Nintendo, not anywhere in the press release or any of the news that came out now, but when they first said it was NES and Super Nintendo games. So, you know, I wonder how long it takes until we get a Super Nintendo game, and does it stop there? Do we get to see some N64, you know? Or, you know, what does the future hold is, I think, what's most interesting about it. But for me, $20, a bunch of games like this, I mean, I would have, for the cloud saving and the online, I mean, I don't know, I guess, you know, people might call, oh, you're just like Nintendo apologist, but if it was literally, hey, $20 for the online servers and you get nothing else, it'd be like, well, I play enough of the online games where $20 seems fair to me, you know?
See, that's exactly where I'm at too.
So
you know?
All of this extra stuff
like
is just
I'll admit
gravy.
that this stuff isn't like exciting to the max. It's not like super, because we've already known about it since like launch, like what the idea of this. And it's exactly, to me, this is exactly what we thought it would be. Plus, they finally addressed cloud saves, which is really big because that's important to me. Because I don't want to lose my saves, and so that'll be nice to have. Now, a lot of questions people are saying is like, you know, you have to pay now to have the option for cloud saves, and I say, okay, sure, that's a legitimate concern, but also, it's $20, so like
yeah, and it's
like
not. Yeah,
I mean, Pokemon Bank. People also pay for Pokemon Bank.
Oh,
it's
tons
$5.
of people play for that, and I'm pretty sure on PlayStation for backup saves you need to be a PS Plus member.
I'm not sure about that, but I think you can still back up your saves in a different manner.
Yeah, I
without
think
cloud saves.
I think you can use a USB or an external to save them. But I think if you want to do actual cloud saving, then I'm pretty sure you need to be a member.
Yeah,
but I mean,
anyway,
it is what it is. But like I said, it's a fair price. You know, I'm sure it'll stink for some people that are like, you know, maybe a little tight on money and they'd really rather spend that $20 on a game. You know, but it you know, it costs money to keep these.
Find some friends and get the cost to go down to $5.
Right into us. No.
You know? Yeah.
But sort of going hand in hand with this news was more news on the virtual console, or really the nail in the coffin, I should say.
Yeah.
Because we got a quote here. There are currently no plans to bring classic games together under the virtual console banner, as has been done on other Nintendo systems.
You know, now that I read that reads a lot differently than the first time.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried.
That's not saying virtual console's not coming. It's saying that
it's going to
the moniker virtual console isn't coming.
Oh yeah, to me it totally says like
coming.
Oh yeah, no, that's how I read it. Is that it will not be virtual console, but it's going. You know what? I guarantee it's just they want it to be better branding. Because if you just heard virtual console and you are not in the game sphere, you know, you don't know what that exactly means. That could be a PlayStation thing. That could be a Microsoft thing. It's going to be some sort of Nintendo classics or rolling with something like that. You know, have
Nintendo. Exactly what I predicted last year.
Yeah, that I predicted last year exactly.
No.
It was totally you who said.
GameCube
I remember
launch Smash Bros. Melee. That's Casey.
I remember you saying last year, I'll eat my shorts if the virtual console isn't talked about at E3.
Remember when you said that Metroid Prime 4 would be announced?
And I was
or
right.
you'd give $50?
Best $50 I
by
didn't have to
golly,
spend.
I can't believe that happened. That's insane. I can't believe you lucked out.
What do you mean lucked out,
big
man?
Jim.
I
I can't believe that.
my sources over at Retro,
Dude,
they let me know that another team was working on it.
yeah. It just hit me. It's like I forgot all about Metroid Prime 4.
I'm
Dude,
like a
Metroid Prime 4 is
prophet.
coming out. Do you think we're going to see anything about Metroid Prime 4 at E3? Like,
I don't know.
right? They showed something last year. Like, we should see something, right?
Well, they did say they were only going to be talking about games from 2018.
Yeah.
And then it begs the question, do you think it's going to be 2018? And I think they would have... I think they showed it last year because the Switch was still in that uncertainty phase. They didn't know what level of success they were going to expect, so they had to bust out the heavy guns, you know?
So here's another piece to the puzzle. I think EA Games just said, like, today, or I just saw the thing, that they expect the Switch to have over 30 million units base, like, by this December.
I like
It's
the
like,
sound of that.
You gotta wonder, what do they know? Like, do they know something? Is Metroid Prime 4 coming? But it's like, well, Metroid Prime 4 is not like a big seller. I mean, it could be though.
I think
It will be.
I think it will be probably the best-selling Metroid game, but it's not going to, touch the numbers that a Mario or Zelda are going to push,
Right.
Because I think it'll have enough. There are enough people in the Switch that
I don't know,
are
man.
itching for that kind of game.
Oh, I don't know.
And
man.
I bet
It
you,
is-
like, if you look at all the sales from like a Metroid, I'm gonna see if I could pull it up real quick. I bet you they're
Metroid
really
Battle Royale.
easily going to be. That would be funny. I wasn't at that. I was actually looking at these sales numbers. Okay, so you've got the highest selling Metroid title here, according to Video Game Sales Wiki. So it might not be exactly 100%, but I'm assuming the wikis are usually pretty good. Metroid Prime, 2.78 million. The second is the original Metroid, 2.73. And then now it doesn't have numbers here for like Zero Mission, which could have been pretty high. But like I'm looking at like Fusion 1.6 on the GBA.
That's a lot.
1.42 on the Super Nintendo for Super Metroid. So like those are still good sales,
Yeah,
but
they're like not even. I mean, you gotta think like they're not even close to any of Nintendo's huge.
Yeah, but now think of 30 million Switches out there. Like they don't have. I wonder what the Metroid Zero, not Zero. What's the one that just came out? Samus Returns. I wonder if I could see, because like I think that might be a little bit more indicative of maybe where Prime 4 might go, but probably even more because.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's going to because like
that came out after Switch.
Yeah, that's true too.
Dude, I know. It's how crazy. So, you just gotta think. Yeah, that's gonna be insane. Metro Prime 4 is gonna be insane. We should move on though to this next thing, because as you're speaking of Samus Returns on the 3DS, you gotta think, what is going on with the 3DS?
Well, we've got a quote here from Nintendo that's saying, the 3DS has an ample software lineup at a price point that makes this system affordable, especially for parents looking to buy for their kids. We expect that demand to continue during the fiscal year as well, so we will continue to sell the product. They went on to say that now I'm paraphrasing that, the situation could change if the Switch becomes a one per person system.
Right.
So, and I don't see that happening unless if it gets down to like 200. And even then it might be a little expensive.
Dude, but then you just gotta think. I mean, Switch Mini at $199, no dock. Oh my goodness! Like, wouldn't that be insane?
It would be pretty cool.
Wouldn't that be insane? I'm serious. That would be absolutely crazy.
But what's I'm loving this 3DS just keep on chugging. It's the system. It's
Yeah,
like a
I mean-
cockroach. It's never gonna die.
And it's almost like not the 3DS anymore. It's the 2DS that is kind of being that, because I mean, you got to think about it. Having the 2DS at $79.99. I mean, that is so cheap.
And then you can get
And
in
the-
there, and you could buy every single great game for $20.
I know. Now, granted, it's the 2DS, and you can't play it in 3D, which is what makes every game beautiful. Man, I wish they had a 2DS with a 3D screen. That would be so cool. But that would be the stupidest named thing you've ever heard. The 3DS, 2DS style.
Oh God! But I tell you what, I want that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking with Grills Von Sizzle on Twitter about his 2DS XL purchase. He was debating, and he ended up going and getting it. And it's like I'm jealous, man. I want that. I love that 2DS XL, man. It looks so good, but I just can't justify it right now. Even though I've been playing my 3DS a little bit. That might be a hint at one of the games I've been playing, but also with just some other stuff going back and getting on there with DKC3 for the Patreon Plays podcast and stuff. And it's just a great little system. I know the Switch is, the coup de grace, but the 3DS, man, it's beautiful. I love that little bastard.
Of course. It's amazing. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the 2DS XL, but Grills Von Sizzle was getting it for the Virtual Console, which is a great idea. If you're getting it for like a portable SNES library, that's probably one of the best. It's a good idea. But anywho, we can move on here.
Yep, those were our two heavy-hitting things. Now we've just got some more, some lighter, funner stuff to talk about here.
Yep. Golf Story got an ESRB rating.
You know what that means?
Likely a physical announcement coming soon. So,
did you play? You didn't play Golf Story, did you?
Nope. I'm waiting for this.
Very nice. Golf Story. I know it was sort of like, it's Mario Golf for Game Boy Advance. Like, it's totally like that, and it really isn't. But it's still fun, and it's kooky and weird, and I like it.
Oh, and it's gonna look so nice on my shelf.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder. We'll see how I feel. I don't think I'm gonna get this one boxed, but we'll see how when it gets announced.
Depends on who it's from. If it's from Limited Run, I probably will. If it's from Super Rare Games, their games are still super expensive.
Oh, are they?
It comes to like $51 for these, because if they're $34.99, they're shipped from England.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's just unfortunate. Like, I'm sure it's cheaper in England, but with tax and shipping, it comes to like So, but if it's limited run, then it's like 35.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
And it's not too bad. It's weird how big that difference seems, but
no, I know what you mean.
Or if you go to PAX and you get them, then it's no tax.
Yeah, then you just cash money, baby.
Yeah, that was why I got it. Darkest Dungeon.
And you still haven't played that game, have you?
Nope. I will.
Enabler.
Enabler.
This next one I'm excited about. Owlboy Collector's Edition coming to the Switch July 13th. And this collection looks just wonderful. It's got a big, beautiful outer box, and it's cool. It's red for the Switch and blue for the PlayStation 4. And included,
Beautiful.
you get the soundtrack. Well, you get the game, you get the soundtrack, you get the Certificate of Authenticity. You get a coin and pin box, as well as some coins and pins to go with that box. You get stickers, a manual, and a cool little notebook. And there's only going to be 6,000 of these made. I believe 6,000 per console. And I tried to find a price, no word.
Yeah, how much are they?
It didn't look like there's a word on the pricing yet. I saw someone speculating on Reddit that
probably be getting
they're thinking maybe in that $60 to $80 range.
Yeah.
I think 60 would be a good spot because, like you said, the game, I guess, is usually 30, 35. It might be a little more because it is a pretty big collector's set. But like I said,
we'll
you guys
see.
should definitely Google it and look what it looks like. It really is super nice.
It's a nice looking box.
Like
Yep.
this is definitely one I'm gonna get, especially since I've really wanted to play Owlboy. I know you really enjoyed it, and it looks
Remember,
it looks wonderful.
It was our must play. Yep.
Oh, I think I'm gonna be all over this.
It's one of the most
box.
beautiful games I've ever seen. Yep. I think I may too. Seriously. If not, getting the physical.
Unless if it's like $100, that would probably be. I'd be like, I'll just get the regular.
way.
But yeah, I can't imagine it's gonna be that expensive.
Yeah. Anyway, for our last bit of news, you remember that they announced Luigi's Mansion, the original for 3DS?
Isn't it a 2019 release date too?
I think so. What the heck is going? Oh, I don't know about this one. If they were smart, this would be an October release, and it would be an awesome
like
Halloween
right
game
before
to get.
Halloween.
And I probably would get it.
There's a good chance I might get it still.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Luigi.
That might be a good one to be like, yo, let me get that review.
I just think that, playing through that in October before Halloween, getting in like that spooky mood would just be so much fun. Anyway,
that's the last time I played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'd think that Next Level would be making it because they made Dark Moon. But they're not. Guess who's making it?
Is it one of my favorite developers?
It sure is.
Woo-wee, our boys over at Grezzo.
Woo!
They're like
as you have put it in the notes, Grezzo.
The old Grezzo. They're like the remasters. The remastering
I guess
masters.
they're like, guys, Ever Oasis did not sell. Make port Luigi's Mansion.
Back to ports.
Yeah. Do you know what Grezzo should have done? And you know what would have been incredible? They should have done the third entry in the Ocarina of Time trilogy. How crazy would have that been?
That would have been
like the sequel to Majora's Mask.
That would have been
that
bonkers.
engine for 3DS. Wouldn't that have been the coolest thing ever? They could have done it. They could have worked with Nintendo and done it. Anyway, but they're working on Luigi's Mansion 3DS. So that's cool.
And
that makes me happy. I mean, it's like
it's in good
Next
hands.
Level didn't. Yeah. I know they're gonna be good. Still begs the question: is this game gonna be in 3D? It has to be, right?
I say yes, just
the 3D
because
game.
I can't imagine it has to be the same exact engine as Dark Moon, and that's in 3D. So why would they? You know what I mean? Like if it's already if the legwork has already been done, I can't imagine it would be that much more difficult at this point.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I don't know. Yes, me too. But that'll do it for the news.
Yes, sir.
And let's take a quick,
let's take a quick breather.
Break. And then we'll come back and we'll get into our listener mail. And we are back, and it's time for some listener mail.
Listener mail.
Oh yeah, baby.
And this is from our good friend Holden, who has sent us emails before. Good feller. Has a really nice long email full of lots of cute and nice things and
A multifaceted
cool things.
multifaceted email here.
Anyway, so we're going to kind of read through it and talk about it as we read. And here we go. I'll start it off. He says, "Hi again. This particular email is a little scattershot because I couldn't settle on a topic. First, I'll start with a story. I was in Walmart the other day, and by some miracle, they had a single Super Nintendo Classic behind the glass. Just to be safe, I bought it and ended up giving it to my older brother as a housewarming gift. While he has gotten some use out of it, it's been my 3 little nephews who have had the most fun with it." Which is nice, because that's what a Super Nintendo Classic's for, is for 3 little nephews.
Yeah, it's always nice. I mean, for me, with the NES Classic, SNES Classic, it's not really as much showing people or getting anyone involved as much as it's just me sort of reliving it. So like I would think it'd be perfect, yeah, if you have a niece or a nephew or children. It would be perfect to sort of show them those older games, especially with a nice spread on there, with like Donkey Kong and stuff, and games that sort of.
Ahead.
Yeah, he goes on.
Go ahead and keep and read.
Yeah, he goes on to say, I live about 50 feet away, so the oldest, who's 5, comes to my door and fetches me to play sometimes, which in reality is all the time. Thus far, the games they enjoy the most are Kirby Superstar, Donkey Kong Country, we're in World 3, and surprisingly, Link to the Past. I've always liked Kirby, especially...
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I know, yeah. Surprisingly. I thought I liked...
And surprisingly, the best game of all time.
I thought I liked Holden. No.
Yeah.
I've always liked Kirby, especially Superstar, but now I really appreciate the deliberate design decisions they've made for children.
Ooh, see, that's something... Because I never played it as a kid, and I didn't really dig it as an adult, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, too, because I remember at PAX... like when a younger kid came up to me and he was like, "Where the heck was Kirby?" On our on our list. I might have mentioned this before. I forget.
And then you look down and he was holding a gun.
Yeah, and then he hit me in the leg with a steel pipe, and I was like, "You didn't learn that from Kirby, did you?"
Kirby's pretty violent. All right. Holden goes on to say, "As for Link to the Past, while not my favorite Zelda, not that it's overrated." Well, he's glad he put that in.
Yeah,
there.
he saved it.
The nephews seemed immediately enchanted by it. I'm surprised they're sticking with Donkey Kong as it's a difficult game, but they're making detectable progress. My takeaway is that side-scrollers, for how difficult they can be, are also very intuitive. Also, that game is still beautiful to behold, regardless of what game journalists say. Side note, I might have just said that game was kind of ugly.
Yeah.
In a previous thing. It's not ugly, it's just that...
You're ugly, Perry.
It's weird. Okay, I'm ugly, yes. Holden goes on to say, so my takeaway is that Super Nintendo games are timeless, it would seem. That's a 100% factual statement.
Yeah, I can agree with that, I think.
Yep.
I mean, most of them. I'm sure there are plenty that... any that are going to show up on a nice, beautiful collection compilation are going to be the better ones, of course. But,
yep.
No, definitely good stuff. He goes on here to say, since I brought up Donkey Kong, I'll move on to the topic of Tropical Freeze. While the game is definitely in my top 5 games of the forever, I'm not planning on purchasing it again. The question I'd like to ask here is more directed at Casey. Can't even say my own name. Casey, unless he cracked and already bought it, which I have not. But he said, a few days ago I opened my 3DS, turned on Donkey Kong Country Returns just to play a level, past the time, and I may have accidentally played through the entirety of it again. In doing so, I was reminded that the 3DS version has an additional 8 levels added to it, and they're really good.
Heck yeah.
Now, he wants to know, had they done the same thing for Tropical Freeze and adding another island, would you double dip? He says, as for myself, Nintendo would have nabbed my money along with my person and stashed me in the trunk of their car. I think, yeah, if they had added more content to this, it would have been an absolute no-brainer for me. Because...
Interesting.
I mean, at that point, it would have been a whole nother world to explore. So what's that? Probably 6 to 8 new levels on top of... I mean, because I want to play this.
Of course.
As I said, I was
You're
tempted,
human.
but I'm trying
You're
to
not
be...
Canadian.
Yeah, I'm not Canadian. Thank God. No, it's tempting because I do want to play it. It's a great game. I haven't played it since it came out on the Wii U, which is crazy to think is... What did it come out, 2014?
Yes.
Which
2013.
Was it 13?
Oh, no, 14. It was February 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy to think about, how long ago that was. But, yeah, so for me, if they added new levels, I would have been able to justify the purchase.
I can, that makes sense to me. I can remember, just side note, I remember the E3, the digital, they're doing like the presentation, I think, and seeing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. and being like, no, this can't be. Like, Retro, there's no way Retro, this is their next game. They're supposed to be making Metroid for the Wii U, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
Where's
I remember
Prime 4?
listening to this. I don't think at the time I was listening to Radio Free Nintendo yet, but I remember listening to the episode when Johnny Metz, like, a live reaction to him, and he said, like, when it was announced, he's like, okay, and it's Donkey Kong, it's a new Donkey Kong game made by Retro. Just stab me in the eye. That's what he said on the podcast, and I thought that was so funny. But then, zoom to now. It's funny to think about the Donkey Kong Country Returns for 3D, for the 3DS. Like, I remember getting that. I couldn't wait to play it because it was getting it, like, this awesome game portably, It's so awesome. And playing through that game when it came out, I remember talking with my friends being like, was this a 3DS game they moved to Wii or something? Because they did, like, the jumping into the background and stuff a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this makes sense, And then now it's funny, it's kind of the same thing with Tropical Freeze. It's like, oh my goodness, I get to take this on the go. Like, of course, you could play it handheld, but only in your home, next to your TV.
About 3 feet away from your Wii U.
Yeah, but, yeah, so now, so I did get it, of course, we talked about it before. But I do think it is kind of interesting that they're charge more money and it's this bit, and there's no extra content,
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if you want to, since we're going to be talking about price, if you want to.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah. Holden says, the last little bit here. On a side note, I'm not salty about them charging full price for the game. To do otherwise would have been seen as a vote of non-confidence. Moreover, as for myself, at least I have a hunch that the games I buy on the cheap, I value less and therefore give less of a chance. Which I think...
I understand what he's saying.
I totally see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not necessarily how much I pay for a game, but it's just paying for a game in general. Like when I get... Like the Humble Bundle, I mean, I guess you're still paying for it, but you get like 10 games for like $10, and it's like I'm like, oh, I got all these games, and like, oh, sure, some of them are sort of interesting, but like whatever, I don't really, I sort of forget about them, So I totally get that. Like, I paid money for this game, I'm invested, literally, invested in this game. I'm going to play this game and at least give it a fair shake, Like, of course, you're going to play some games that you just don't like and don't want to play anymore. But, like, if I pay for a game, I'm playing that game, So, I totally see where he comes from there.
Hold on. Let's not kid ourselves. That's not always true.
Well, yeah, no, there have definitely been games I've bought and
we do have the backlog Bayou.
Oh, I hate that Bayou.
I'm staring at it right
now.
No,
all right, yeah. I should say, if I buy a brand new game, I'm playing that game,
yeah, there you go.
But yeah, as far as, I guess I just didn't even think about that. Tropical Freeze was $50 on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
So I always sort of forget that it's weird they're charging more.
Probably shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It should have been $60.
It should have just been
people who are gonna buy it would have bought it for $60. It made a lot more money.
Yeah, I wonder if that was some sort of experiment to see if it would have helped certain things being a lower price point. But yeah, it seems. I mean, that's a fully featured great game that is absolutely worth $60. So I'm sort of a strange thing to do 50. But yeah, I think it makes sense to do 60 here. I think it just makes sense. It's a $60 game, and I stand by that. That game is good, and it's worth every penny to me, despite me not spending the money on it. But that's just because I'm trying to have some self-constraint, Perry.
Yeah,
and it sucks.
I hear you, but it's Donkey Kong.
I'm lucky I've got a couple other games keeping me busy. Otherwise, I probably would have gotten it. And there's still time.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, no, it's nice because you can always catch it on sale. You're good. It's physical, and remember, reversible cover art with Funky Kong.
Ooh, Funky Kong, baby.
Now Holden has one last paragraph here. He says, also before I forget, what does Perry think of Chuck? It's been years since I watched it, but I firmly remember John Casey being the best character in the show. Chuck is the NBC television show that aired from like 2008 to like 2012 or something. It's pretty good, huh? Pretty good.
I'm gonna say I'm looking to see if I can.
Yeah, go ahead and check. Now he meant. I love Chuck. We just watched it. We just watched 3D. What is it?
No, I'm just laughing. Yeah, go ahead and check.
I didn't mean to sound like that.
You jerk. It ran.
I didn't mean to sound like that.
It ran 5 seasons. The first 3 seasons were from 2007 to 2010, and the final 2 seasons, which went to a different production company, 2010 to 2012. So
Interesting.
The
Okay.
original release was 2007 to 2012.
Gotcha. We just watched through it a few months ago, the whole thing again, and it's a great show. I highly recommend it. It's
Never even heard of it.
Like that. It's like the good. Really?
Nope.
Weird.
Chuck. Yeah.
It's like a spy show, and it's a comedy, and it's good stuff. It's kind of cheesy in a good way. Anyway, he says, I firmly remember John Casey being the best character in the show. John Casey is amazing, and this is the coolest thing about him is that he does the voice of Henry Fleming. Yes, Captain Henry Fleming from Codename Steam, the main character.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes, I know, it's so good, and it makes me love Chuck and love Codename Steam.
What a good
more.
name. Game, excuse
I
me.
know.
And a good name, I must say.
Codename Steam. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I love Chuck. So you should watch it.
Well,
Case.
then you should marry him.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Perry.
Sitting in a tree.
That was a good joke I just made.
I guess.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Isn't that a movie? I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, that's when they're trying to, they're, like, pretending they're in a gay marriage, right, for tax reasons or something? Isn't that with Adam Sandler, or is that...
Isn't that Kevin James and Adam Sandler? Is that Kevin James? Why don't I know this?
I think so. Yeah. It is.
All right.
Yep. Adam Sandler and Kevin James. Chuck Levine and Larry Valentine are firefighters and true blue buddies. All
right.
Yes.
Well, good. Yes, Holden, thank you so much for emailing us. We really appreciate it. And if anyone, we want to get as many emails as possible so we can do this segment more often. And you can email us at talknintendopodcast@nintendoworldreport.com. We really should get a smaller email.
Yeah. Again,
we really should. I want to see if we can get a smaller one.
TNP at NWR.com, please. Yeah, go from the longest to the shortest.
Yeah, I would love that.
But you could also tweet at us, Talk Nintendo Pod. That's Talk Nintendo
POD.
And you could tweet us your questions there as well. That honestly, if you're on Twitter, that'll be much easier to get it into us. And we'll see it's still the same. So, yeah, feel free to fire over questions either which way.
But I like long emails.
This no, don't get me wrong. The nice emails
Gary,
like this.
It's been a while. Please
well,
email.
Now you're just fishing for him, you dog.
I want to hear from Gary.
No, but yeah, I'm, yeah.
What, do dogs fish?
You're
fishing for them, you dog.
I'm sure they could, yeah. Well,
I'm sure they could too.
That or they pick up dead birds after they get shot. So.
Okay.
Dogs do all sorts of things if you ask them to.
Or raccoons, like that video you showed me.
Raccoon Cafe. I want to go so bad.
Too cute. Yeah. Well, everyone, thanks for listening to episode 86. We will see you on episode 87 next week. Giddy up.
Poodles.
Folks.
I see that, you big jerk. Guys, we need a miracle here. Alright, let's run the cast of the 7 godsends.
That was the first failed attempt at mystery history.
Yeah, it sure was. Appreciate idle love, more women society generously, temporarily, tangerines. A gooble gobble gobble geeble.
Show me 20 scarabs, and I'll give you a cheap token.